Hi everyone, it's Enoch Miller, your Empress West Hollywood, here for another episode of Holding Court with the Empress West Hollywood for Halloween! It's the ooky, spooky, rookie, dookie Halloween episode.
Not dookie.
Not dookie. No dookies.
No, that's afterwards when we start pukey. Well, I'm so excited to have Listen Sweetie host and my BFF, Eric Restivo!
Hi! Thank you for having me back.
Mr. Sexy Librarian in his onesie.
Yes, it's just kind of what I've been wearing all week. Like, I've just been sleeping in it, actually. I haven't even changed. I'm showering, sleeping, and eating in my Halloween costume this year.
And getting nothing in it.
Oh, no.
Just all the boy inside.
None of that. None of that.
So we're here to do a fun little, just kind
These are
of.
so cute and fun.
These are adorable. So we want to say
By the
thank
way.
you to Visit West Hollywood, the
Love
West
that.
Hollywood Travel and Tourism Board.
So cute.
We were at their event last night where they were honoring their hotels and all the people that help support the hotels, bringing in over 3.5 million visitors
Wow.
a year into West Hollywood, not Los Angeles, West Hollywood. To spend almost $2 billion in visitor spending in a year. So congratulations, Visit West Hollywood, and all our amazing hotels. And for all the new ones that are going to be coming online here soon, we cannot wait. So we hope everyone stays in touch with them. If you want to get some more information about what's going on in your Visitors Bureau community, go to visitwesthollywood.com and you can get all the info there. So we're going to be just going a little bit through what's happening in Gay Life LA right now and WeHoville. And if anyone wants to check out, you can go to gaylifela.com or wehoville.com to get more information. There are amazing producers, and we also say thank you to Kingswood Apartment Homes for everything you see here today. If
The
you want,
AC is on.
yeah, the AC is on because I'm fucking sweating balls.
She is in full costume and needs that airflow.
The twig.
A
Yeah.
twig, right? So this is the only crown that expands, so it's the only one that fits over my head. So I totally stole Anita Procedures look, so thank you.
I love it expanding the crown. I mean,
So November is notorious for everyone coming up to do shopping and preparation for the holiday season. And also, Amex wants everyone to be aware that Shop Small Business Saturday is coming up here soon.
the
So
24th, right?
yeah, November 24th. It's the day after Black Friday, or
2 days after Thanksgiving.
2 days after Thanksgiving, the day after Black Friday, and it's really just a local promotion. They do this through thousands of communities around the U.S., partnering with all different people. We're going to be partnering with the West Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and they're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff throughout the community, celebrating small businesses, doing some fun specials, things like that. So keep an eye out. There's an ad on gaylifela.com and WeHoville where you can check out more information for Shop Small. But again, November 24th, mark that on your calendars and really come out and support your local community. For some information about what's going on here for Gay Life, Christopher Street West, who is the organization that puts on LA Pride every year. They're called CSW for the acronym that just makes it shorter.
Mm-hmm.
They just got a bunch of new members for their Pride board.
Oh.
So there's a lot of new people on there, a lot of locals, some people
This
might
has
know.
kind of been developing for a while, right?
They've been getting newer and newer board members over the last few years, trying to fine-tune a cohesive board. We're really excited they have a new chair, Esteban Montemayor.
Ooh,
and
he
then
just sounds perfect.
He's a sweetheart, very involved in government, so knows his stuff, and hugely involved with the Los Angeles LGBT community as well. And then also Madonna Cacciatore, who's the new executive director over there. She's going to be such a help to that organization. It's the first ever paid employee that CSW will have on staff, working to do year-round stuff. There's more information on Gay Life LA about what their plans are here for Christopher Street West in the future, and then also for next year's Pride. So big changes, hopefully, more and amazing things to help support the LGBT community here coming out for Pride 2019. Oh my God.
I know, it's so weird.
It's crazy that we're already talking about this stuff.
Weird.
But we're so excited for that, and just make sure you kind of pay attention. As well, if you guys haven't been paying attention to the news for the transgender community, make sure you go out and support anything that happens. They're doing a lot of different events throughout, so keep a track of what's happening for Gay Life LA, because there's just tons of different events to help protest all the stuff that Trump's trying to do and trying to remove the option to be gender non-conforming, gender non-binary, or transgender on applications, different forms, really trying to erase them from the community status of this country. And
Y'all
so
need to vote.
Really vote
November
on that stuff.
6th.
Exactly. And
Vote,
voting,
vote.
That's coming up here soon. So yeah, thank you for reminding me on that, because that's a big
I
one.
only remembered because I and I'm not proud to say this, but I completely forgot to register till like 2 days before.
Yeah.
Like the last minute, and I did it right online, and it was so simple.
It's super, it's super simple. You can go to weho.org for the city's website. They have lots of information on there on how to vote, letting you know where your polls locations are. 2 is where you need to go in the city. But honestly, the best thing, I've already done my my mailer, and so I got it early. It's already in, done. So, and if you have any other questions about that, you can also check in with the West Hollywood Chamber too as well. Their West Hollywood Political Action Committee has a lot of information about different ballots, different candidates, and some of the people they support through that political action committee as well.
Yeah, people sometimes forget, just educate yourself a little bit on who, don't just vote blindly.
Exactly.
It's great to vote, but vote for someone or someone's views or what they put out there that you agree with. You know, I mean, vote accordingly.
And really, don't let other people press you into voting a certain way too. Vote your heart. I mean, again, you are the only person that has this vote, and it's your vote. So don't just think that, it's a wasted vote, I'm not going to do anything with it. It's just no vote is a wasted vote, no matter what you think. Go out there, support, and honestly, the more people that get out there, it encourages other people, because during Trump's election, almost half the country didn't vote. So half of y'all fucking suck.
And now y'all want to complain about it.
Exactly. So you don't vote, you can't complain, and we don't give a shit what you have to say.
Amen. That's the first time the fan came out today, and it's coming back.
I'm behaving because
coming back.
I like to use it too much.
Is that what they told you?
That's
behind the scenes.
That's what everyone tells me behind the scenes.
They bring them off camera and they tell them.
So more stuff. We've had a lot of new information coming up from a couple new writers we've been having and videographers. Ben Kowaller, if you guys haven't checked out his stuff, he has a new channel up on WeHo or Gay Life LA called Out with Kowaller. Some information, he's been going out and doing some fun stuff. He just did a recently Tom and Philin art fair. He's done some stuff with National Night Out as well, so all his videos are up there. You can check those out. And he just recently did a little video from when the Trump baby was out in West Hollywood Park, getting people's reactions, talking to some of their city council members, and also people that are running for future city council coming up here in 2019 as well, so pay attention for that. And then Kyle Langen, who's doing our Kyle Chronicles, which is some really kind of fun LGBT trucks around West Hollywood and the surrounding area, and some fun stories he has and all the little intrigues he gets into. So you can go and see the Kyle Chronicles under Let's Discuss for Gay Life LA, and some more information on that too as well. And there's just lots going on, so check out what's happening. There's some really cool things going on in the community as well. Lots of different events. You really just kind of have to check them all out. I don't want to list them all because there's a lot.
There's a lot, sweetie.
Yeah, and just really just pay attention to that. And we are constantly updating those with more information for anyone to kind of want to check out everything going on with there. And then a little tea about WeHoville and what's going on. We hope everyone has a happy Halloween, but still be safe tonight. The roads are closed now. They stopped at 12, and they're going to be closed till about 2 to 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And probably even more piled up. I know traffic just gets shit show out of all that. So it's really just be careful with those as you're driving around tonight. I mean, especially in the West Hollywood area, really pay attention to that. And it's just kind of be careful with all that. So there's some fun stuff going with different seminars coming up in the West Hollywood community. There's an LGBTQ plus family building seminar on November 7th in West Hollywood. There's some information on that, which is really cool. Congregation Cole Ami has been doing stuff for the victims of Pittsburgh. So if you have anyone you want to get involved with that's kind of doing stuff towards the victims for Pittsburgh, go talk to Cole Ami on the, I think they're down over by, I want to say La Brea in Santa Monica. I have to double check, but I know they're in the area, and they do a lot for just people around here that are not part of the Jewish community, and so they're doing some stuff with that. So if you want more information, you can reach out to them. They have some different stuff with that. And then keep in tune. There's been some issues. I know a lot of people have been having some stuff with power outages on Sunset Strip and through the surrounding area. Be paying attention to Edison and what they're doing, because some of these things have not been announced. Some of it has just been accidental. Yeah, some of it's been accidental, but some of it's just like people have not been aware, especially businesses. So keep apprised of what's going on here in West Hollywood. But always go to wehoville.com or gaylifela.com for more information. So we're going to get into some fun little tea about what's going on around the world with Eric Restivo. He's got some really fun, is it Halloween-based kind of funness?
Oh my God, I just saw a daddy with two beautiful pit bulls running in the street, and
Oh,
I completely lost my train of thought about everything.
We've seen him. He's cute.
Yeah, but I've got a plethora of things that we can go over today.
Yay, vocabulary.
I couldn't spell plethora if there was, a Halloween gun toy to my head. But before we go into some things that are going all over the world, I want to talk about a list of some of my favorite Halloween horror movies that are on Netflix right now.
Ooh, yes.
And so I love cable like just as much as I love Netflix. I'm one of the only people in my circle of friends who has cable, which is kind of weird. I know you do too, actually. You do too.
I do.
But most of my friends operate from Apple TV and Amazon Stick and all of that, fun stuff. So I think that everyone is usually on Hulu or Netflix.
Basically.
And Netflix changes their movies. Things that happen during the hour of 3 a.m., the witching hour.
Which everyone thinks it's midnight. It's actually not. It's like 2, 3 a.m.
Yeah, 3 a.m. I thought. And weirdly, whenever I wake up during the 3 a.m. hour, it's always between 3 a.m. and 3:15.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in between there. Often it's 3:13. I'm not sure why.
Just randomly.
But my family is very spiritual too. My mother was a sleepwalker, everything like that. Anyway, not to go off tangent.
But sleep paralysis thing is creepy as
Sleep
fuck.
paralysis, we're going to get into that a little bit later, but it is freaky. There is 2 movies out on Netflix right now. One, the original was released, I want to say 2 years ago, and it's called The House is the October Built, and it's basically a documentary style horror film that follows three kind of haunted house fanatics, and they get mixed up in a house that actually may or may not have a killer in it.
Wow.
And
wait, a serial killer?
Like an actual killer working in the haunted house.
Oh,
who
shit.
may or may not follow them back later on. And it's all on camera, so it's kind of blurring the line between real life and Hollywood.
Kind of like a Blair Witch kind of thing?
Yeah, but I'm someone who grew up on Long Island in New York, and on Halloween, it's that's all there is. It's haunted hayrides and haunted houses, and you just go with your family and you wait in line for 45 minutes, and you go in this haunted house that's a 6-minute long attraction.
And it's so cheesy.
But they have paid actors working there. Imagine if somehow one of those paid actors turns out to just be a psychopath. This movie takes that turn.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was wildly reviewed to the heavens, and actually Paulo Ramirez and I both watched it at the same time and loved it, and they came out with the sequel to it, which explains a lot of the beginning of the first one, so they kind of go together.
Okay.
I loved it. I would definitely check it out, but it is a freaky one. I would watch that with someone. That's up there as well. going back to, like, you know, when I was like 15, 16 years old, the Scream franchise was one of the best. Wes Craven took no mercy whatsoever when it came to the kills in the Scream entire franchise. And there's 4 of them that you can watch now. 2 of them are available on Netflix. Scream 2, which has the iconic opening scene with Jada Pinkett Smith in the movie theater. And then Scream 4, which took place 20 years after, that had Emma Roberts and still the original cast, but some of, you know, New Hollywood. Hayden Panettiere, I want to say that's how you say her last name. I think that's how you say it. I'm so sure that. And then just a few classics, like the original Halloween. I know the remake, you know, is out and turning heads right now. I haven't seen it yet.
Some people are saying they actually like the fact that it picks up where the first one left off, and it kind of leaves the middle ones.
You neglect all the other sequels.
So a lot of people are saying they like that it kind of explains the ending and kind of gives a conclusion to everything.
Right. Even though I know that if you're watching Enoch's show right now, then you're obviously a fan of, like, some of the things that we're a fan of. And Halloween H2O, starring Josh Hartnett and Michelle Williams, for me to neglect that movie was a little bit hard. I just want to let you know, but it's not okay. Who?
Somebody from Germany just said, "Hi from Germany."
Hi, Germany! Oh, you're probably cute.
That's scary. We did that in sync.
Well, it is the Halloween episode.
That's true.
And then also The Shining, Enoch. I don't know if you've seen The Shining.
I hated The Shining.
She cursed. Ugh. So I actually am not someone who is a huge fan of The Shining either. To me, it was a little bit slow and painful. But it is one of the top reviewed movies on Rotten Tomatoes when it comes to old school horror movies. So
it's a classic, but I couldn't sleep for like 3 days because of it. I kept expecting Jack Nicholson to come busting through my door. No.
Also, some campy horror movies to watch this evening. Krampus is a favorite of mine, starring Toni Collette.
Yes.
Was it not Jason Bateman, the other one?
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett, the big one from Two Angry Men. The mom. I don't know. But
shit, I can't remember.
Just that is a hysterical movie. That's also a horror movie, and it's also like will make you like a little bit sad at the end, and then it won't be.
It won't be.
But that's a good one.
They all die.
Right. I love a good monster.
I do.
Like a good monster. And then speaking of monster, the Human Centipede is not for the weak stomach. I will tell you that, but it's basically about a mad scientist who is so deranged that he decides to test out the theory of connecting 3 human bodies in the form of a centipede. You know, and it's gotten wildly amazing reviews. It's been called a cult classic and been categorized in the same category as films such as Blair Witch and the Rocky Horror Show. And I love it. I wouldn't recommend it if you just ate.
Yeah, I would say not on a full
if you plan on eating, and I wouldn't recommend it if you've had some Halloween punch either, you know.
Some trash can punch.
But listen, go to Netflix and do what I do and binge watch. And for me, Halloween is almost every day, so I'm constantly watching horror movies.
And now. Just a couple other ones to add to that. The new Sabrina series on Netflix.
Oh my god, I haven't started it yet. Everyone's going nuts about it.
Absolutely loved it. It is nothing. You have to banish any inhibitions you might have comparing it to the old Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You cannot do that at all. It is like the comic book, which I didn't realize there was a comic book.
Yeah.
And it is phenomenal.
But the thing that's different is that the cast from the original are well behind this one. Like, they love it. They support it. They put out like video commercials, like watching
They're
it.
so for
as
it.
opposed to the Charmed reboot, which is not getting the same support from the original cast.
And I think because what they did, and this is why the difference is, Sabrina is completely a different series than the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Right.
And Charmed, they're trying to be very similar to the original, with tweaks and changes and all. Like, one of the sisters is actually a lesbian.
Well, I mean, like, other than Alyssa Milano in Charmed, it's like none of them have really done anything, you know, since Charmed. So I think that they just kind of wanted to be casting them.
Yeah, I think that.
I mean, how many, you know, I mean, like, I love Coyote Ugly, obviously, where do I work, but I mean, the sister that was No, it wasn't even her.
No, it wasn't even
I
her.
confused Pipers.
Yeah,
not
no,
even her.
No, not even
See,
her.
I love Coyote Ugly, and you're not even in that movie.
Yeah, Melissa Malon's the one that's like still doing Project Runway stuff. And
Yeah, she's doing Project
always
Runway. She
amazing.
only does Project Runway All-Stars.
All-Stars,
though,
right. She just
Yeah,
does
that's some
All-Stars.
tea, honey. She doesn't do the regular.
And then on the sister of Netflix, go to Hulu, and they're doing a whole series called Huluween.
Yeah.
And they have tons of like shows, movies, lots of the classics Eric mentioned as well too. And if you want like a good like scary movie binge, I mean, Saw's always a fun one.
Yeah.
Saw's
Yeah.
are good.
So it's like just, I mean, all
And
of
they
them-
all connect,
they
and
do
and it's
kind
finally
of-
over now, so
Yeah.
you can.
Also, I mean, Silence of the Lambs. You want a good scary movie? I mean, just him sitting there going like that freaks me out
Yeah.
every time. Red Dragon still was really good, even though I wasn't a huge fan of it. It's still just creepy.
I
as
mean,
fuck.
Brad's moose knuckle that is staring at me in the seat in front of me is probably scarier than any horror movie we're talking about right now. But you know, there
Just
it
the
is.
tip, girl. Just the tip. What else you got for us?
So I wanted to conjure up some topics that I think are wildly popular
Okay.
on Halloween night. Sleep paralysis is something that is completely freaky, and is being touched upon more and more in some of the series actually that we talked about. I think Sabrina actually tackles it as well.
A little bit, yeah. There's a
and-
sleep demon in it that happens with that.
Especially in The Haunting of Hill House as well, but I actually get sleep paralysis quite often, and
It's
I
a fairly
hate it.
common thing, actually.
But it's like when you're laying there, for any of you guys, especially those of you in Germany, I feel like you probably live a way more peaceful life than us psychopaths out here in West Hollywood, so maybe you don't know what sleep paralysis is. But it's when you're in bed and you have no control over your voice, your body, your actions. You can't even like really blink your eyes. Like you're literally like
Frozen. Yeah.
Like that's the noises that you make, and and your whole body is asleep. And then, if you're really crazy, like me, you see things in the shadows that are coming towards you. And then you look at the clock, and it says 3:13 in the morning, and it's the witching hour. Then what do? Do you believe in this? Have you ever dealt with sleep paralysis, or do you think that's just like a form of anxiety?
I think it's a little bit of both. I
My
mean, it
nipples
can
are
be
so hard.
always.
Yeah.
I use her to cut glass.
Yeah.
No, there's some of it, it's neurological, some of it's like actual medical conditions where they have some sort of thing that when they wake up, there's that hormone imbalance when you come out of sleep into like regular whatever, because your body's producing blah, 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 blah. So
Right.
what helps you grow,
Because they
obviously.
say that you don't actually sleep like deeply
Right.
until later on in the night.
That's
for
your
only a
REM.
few hours,
Yeah.
right?
Your REM sleep's like, I think they say 2 to 3 hours roughly. Most
My
people
REM
actually
doesn't sleep. Like mine stays up all night.
That's
like,
Doug too.
Yeah. He's
And
just,
No bueno on the rim.
yeah, he's
I
just,
roll over his up.
yeah, I would like to take my REM out, you know, and take him out back because he never sleeps ever.
REM's a bitch.
But
I think it depends on the person, I think.
to me, it comes more often when I have a lot going on. Like
Okay,
when I'm
so
stressed
stress.
about
You got
things
it.
that are going on while I'm awake during the day, it comes at that point.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it always takes a scary turn, and I don't know why. You know, it can't ever just be like a pleasant sleep paralysis. It's always
don't think
like
that's
a
pleasant, though.
PG-13 sleep
The
paralysis.
fact that you just can't move your entire body at all, and you're just like, you again feel almost frozen.
Yes.
It's terrifying a little bit.
Yeah, so there are, if y'all want to be a little freaked out, and, you know, like, I'm someone who, like, Googles myself, like, on Hello MD, like, I give myself all the
Oh, yeah, no,
self-diagnoses,
yeah.
I'm the worst.
She's the we
But,
get
like,
so
I love to Google, like, home-styled haunted stories of, like,
Ooh,
people telling their
okay.
stories. And if you actually look up some of the things that I did on sleep paralysis and, you know, sleepwalking and how it's, like, it goes back to the history of your whole family, it's kind of freaky
Oh,
how
really?
how common it is, you know, like, and how a lot of people still, like, every single day put their stories online, or like,
Yeah.
you know, remember when your online journal was a huge thing, like, did you
Oh
have
my
an online
god.
journal?
Yes.
Remember, what were those websites? I totally forget those websites, but
So
like,
long ago.
it was like they made you put in like an actual title to
Yeah.
each entree,
Oh, yeah.
entry, and then it was like literally like a virtual blog. Like,
Yeah.
and I found a bunch of old virtual blogs of people
Wow.
who put their stories on there, and it's scary what people say
Yeah.
they see, and
Yeah.
you know, these shadow people are not. It's not that uncommon.
No, it's a very common thing you hear about a moment of like freaking out, and so you're like, again, you can't move to turn your head to see what it is, so it's out the corner of your eye.
Right.
It's like right there in your peripheral, and you really can't tell what
and then
it is.
like if you're sleeping with dogs and they're not waking up, you're like, well, why am I waking up? Why don't what they don't hear anything? Like, what am I hearing? And you're not hearing it something? Like, don't you have better hearing than me? You know, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then just the last thing, well, I want to see what your scariest, the most scariest a word? Scariest?
Yeah,
scariest, right?
Yeah.
Well, because funniest is not, you know, but scariest is, whatever. What is the scariest film that you think, in your opinion, that you've ever seen?
Ooh. A lot of the, like, Paranormal Activity ones were kind of the ones that really...
The original Paranormal Activity is freaky.
And then some of the ones that were afterwards, where it was like the one where, like all these children showed up at the end of it, and it was, I can't remember which Paranormal Activity it was.
I think it was like the third one, maybe.
Third or fourth one,
when they get into the grandma's house, and then it's the,
Well, and this was one of, they were in a church, and they're actually at a, this is what it was. They were at a...
Is this the marked ones? This might
I think
be
it's
later
marked.
on.
I think that's what it is. It's the marked ones.
Mm-hmm.
And basically they're at a complex, and they end up summoning this thing in a
it's
church.
It's the Latino family?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
that's
like,
a good one.
Then they go through like the vents and look down at the downstairs neighbor who's like fucking wigging out and like weird shit. So that one scared the crap out of me.
They're all about different families, but they all connect.
Yeah.
You know, they all
a lot
together.
of ghost ones scare me. Like, those are the ones that usually get
spiritual,
me. Paranormal stuff like that ones.
For me, it's like the alien ones. Like, I don't know if you ever have you ever seen The Fourth Kind, where that's where it's like based on the a true story about a woman who lost her daughter in Alaska.
Oh wait, yes, I did see that.
Yeah.
And it's like going between like
it's with the actress from Resident Evil, Mila, and The Fifth Element, Mila Djokovic.
Yeah, it's some German name.
I might have killed him. Hi from Germany.
Hi Germany, please correct us below.
Let us know.
But yeah, that one, because they went back and forth between like what they said was actual footage and like her being like, because she was with a.
She said that they took her daughter, like the UFO just went right over her house.
Hi, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, Southern.
WKRP.
What do we have?
I have no idea what that means.
Me either.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Hey.
It's a show.
Sure, Daddy. Okay.
You guys are dumb.
Oh. Gagging. Is there a question from Cincinnati, or we're just shouting out Cincinnati?
Hi from Cincinnati.
Hey, girl. Oh, sorry. I
Hi.
thought she had something to say about our topics. And then it wouldn't be, a special episode with me if we didn't talk about some of the things that are going on all over the place.
Yes.
We also like to sometimes sit down in Florida. But we will get to that. Let's start in London.
Okay.
Back in 2016, the crazy clown craze was a thing,
my God,
where people were
that.
running around in Essex, and in clown masks.
And they did a little bit here on the East Coast. A lot of people started doing that
so
too.
It apparently has come back about 2 weeks ago in 2018. And we don't have video footage here, but if you guys check it out online, you can just kind of type in like clown craze Essex 2018. But there's 3 different videos of people in clown masks aggressively running at innocent people who are hiking or walking their dogs, and they have knives and weapons on them, and I don't know what I would do. I mean, like, I would lose my shit. I mean, like, what do you do in that situation if a guy comes up to you with a crazy clown mask and a knife? I'm not
scared.
house.
I'm not scared of the clown or like that. It's like something like it or something like.
No, it's some deranged person underneath there.
A person underneath that mask that's crazy as fuck.
Right.
That's what I don't trust.
I don't understand. I don't know why. I want it to end. And I'm sorry for those of you in London dealing with it.
It's the worst.
But now to kind of go more so a little out there.
Okay.
There is a woman, and I actually couldn't find where she was from, but it was somewhere in Britain. I just don't know where, because she told a British TV show this whole thing. Her name is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Amethyst, which is a crystal, right? A-M-E-T.
Amethyst.
Amethyst.
Yeah.
Realm is her name that she goes by.
Okay.
And Amethyst Realm told a British TV show that she cheated on her fiancé with a spirit and has had at least 20 paranormal beings in a romantic way since then.
Oh my god,
So-
that reminds me of a scary movie.
She is now engaged to a spirit that she just calls he. And she was taking a random walk, in the forest with him one day, and she just felt it, is what she said. She just felt it. And she's felt spirits before. She's a medium, but there's never been one like this. And she knew that he was the one. And I quote, that she wants to marry and have a baby with the ghost. And that there was no going down on one knee during the proposal because he has no knees, because he's a spirit, duh. But he did propose, and she did accept, and she is in love with him. And if you want to feel sane, go watch this video. Type in, what is it, Amethyst?
Amethyst.
Amethyst Realm.
Google how to spell that first, because I don't even know how to
20
spell that.
ghosts, and it'll come up right away. And it was breaking news like yesterday morning. So it's
breaking news
in Britain. They have no issues out there, okay? They have nothing to frickin' worry about. So their breaking news has to deal with a psychopath medium who is claiming to leave her husband for a ghost and 20 of
Well,
his
seriously, after
dead house.
Brexit, which broke the TV world over there, I'm pretty sure they have nothing else to talk about.
In Florida, let's all just take a second for Florida.
Fucking Florida.
You're doing great. Really, you guys are doing great. Newport Richey, Florida, which, has anyone heard of that? I've never heard of it. I don't know where it is. I mean,
It's a
Newport
port?
Richey in Florida. Anything that has 3 names, I don't trust. But Newport Richey, Florida, there was a very proud, white, of course, family that had a Nazi-themed Halloween mansion.
Of course.
They decorated their house. There's a lot of dogs on the street on this block. But they decorated their mansion, which you can get a mansion for nothing in Florida.
Yeah, like
especially
$500,000.
Newport Richey, Florida. Which literally just sounds like a cousin of mine that should be living in Florida. But decorated their house a Nazi theme. And people in the neighborhood are obviously clapping back as pure hate, and then other people are actually supporting
Of course they
this
are.
family's decision for their right to decorate their house, a specific way. And I just say, why?
I think, honestly, it's for reaction, probably. I know people
Like it's
that...
to go viral and get attention.
I think so. I knew people that would, back in Texas, that used to wave the Confederate flag and talk about the South rising again. So, I mean, there's lots of cuckoo cracker box people
The
out
people
there.
who talk like that in Texas and the South Rising are probably still cute though.
Oh,
Texas
they're corn-fed
boys
as
are
fuck.
Cute, right?
But
they're cute, but still not.
They're pretty cute. Like, oh my god, don't open your mouth, but suck my dick.
Right. Well, there you go. We are now an R-rated show. It's the Halloween episode. The University of Central Florida houses many of our youth in Florida, and is just producing the greatest of kinds.
Their theme song is
People
ding 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 ding
there.
ding 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 ding.
I mean, if I ever have children, I'm gonna say, Central Florida, this is where you're going.
F you, Florida University, F you.
But students there called the police, and the police detained a college student who was wearing live ammo as the Terminator. So he went dressed as the Terminator and was wearing a leather jacket and a bandolier. They call that a bandolier full of actual real shotguns.
Oh, you mean the little strap thing?
Of real ammunition. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me because I think everyone in Florida has a gun.
So,
Anyway.
so this is what the police department, which is
Jesus.
also doing great, said. There was no ill intent on this student's part. However, it was not the smartest thing. Yeah.
I mean,
Just a
okay.
little pat on the back.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, if anything gets lit near that bandolier
he could light a
thingy-
cigarette, he could light the bong, it's college, it's Halloween,
Yeah.
and then everyone goes bum.
Yeah.
So they obviously confiscated it, but the kid didn't get in any sort of
And also,
trouble.
those things are, when it comes to shotgun, those things are pellets. They're not just one bullet. It thing shoots out with
It was
many
like an
little-
entire bandolier.
No, but I'm saying the shotgun shell contains the little pellets. Those are when it blows out, I mean, it has little things that get fired out. They're these little pellet balls.
I think that he missed the mark on the fact that the Terminator was a robot and couldn't die. You know, like he was. You know, like
he didn't
so
have
I don't,
ammo on him like that. That was fucking Rambo.
Yeah, like, and if that exploded on a robot, like, it would just be a robot, you know, like, if that exploded on you, you're a human, you know, so it's a little bit different. But, you know,
Florida.
Thank you, Florida, and thank you for reminding me that even though we're living in a dark time, things could be darker.
We could live in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy. Bless our unwashed soul of U.S.
Gay men.
Gay men.
Gay men.
So I've got some fun little topics that you might not know about Halloween and how Halloween came to be.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, I mean, they just kind of assume Halloween's always been trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat, candy, costumes, and the such. But really, as most holidays, which I don't think most people understand too, because it's the beginning of the holiday season, most holidays are based on pagan traditions and are very, like, steeped in, like, weird rituals and, like, all these different things they used to do back in the day. And Halloween was one especially that used to be used to protect villagers, and it was more Celtic in nature, protecting them from evil spirits. And they blamed a lot of their misfortune on evil spirits during this time of the year. So some fun little things about it. So little facts.
Fun facts.
Fun facts.
Fun facts.
This
I'm wearing
is
Adidas sandals.
She's classy.
Yeah.
So classy. So it was by, let's see, that's when it went to the Roman Empire. So the origins of the Celtic area, it's 2,000 years ago, roughly around northern France, UK area. They celebrated their new year at November 1st. So this was actually the change from, like, winter, like the beginning of that kind of end of the year when, like, they were starting to do harvest and all that stuff. So it marked the end of summer, beginning of the cold winter, time of the year that kind of associated with human death as well, because back in the day, lots of people didn't survive the cold harshness of winter, especially if you're going to be northern France. I mean, that gets pretty cold.
Pretty damn cold.
Yeah, and it was, they celebrated a person and them doing their go and, like, kill everyone that wasn't Christian. And so then they became All Saints Day, and also All Souls Day. It's kind of another respect towards it. And it's celebrated what they called All Hallows Eve from the Middle English, All Hallowmas, which is All Saints Day on that. And it's kind of how they kind of started the tradition of Halloween from All Hallows Eve to this tradition. And some things a lot of people don't really know about that Halloween itself, back in the day, jack-o'-lanterns were actually used to ward off evil spirits.
I knew that.
So you carve the freaky faces in them to
Right.
scare away
Right.
a spirit from your house.
Love that.
And a lot of the original jack-o'-lanterns were actually made from turnips and not pumpkins. So they're
Fuck
originally
that.
which I had no idea about that at all.
Either.
Halloween is the second grossest holiday next to Christmas, which doesn't surprise me because Christmas, I mean, people spend a shit ton of money. But Halloween is actually number 2, which I would think Thanksgiving would be pretty much up there, but...
Because of food, but I guess because costumes and decorations.
Costumes, decorations. I mean, you go get a costume,
Booze.
it's like $100 almost for a new costume every time.
True.
I mean, and they pay out
At
all
least.
within, at least, yeah, I mean, it's expensive.
That's like a generic, like, Ninja Turtle costume, you know?
And a third of the candy purchased every year annually is for Halloween. So all the candy that the U.S. purchases in 1 year, 1/3 of that goes toward Halloween. It's a lot of candy. Oh, a lot of
candy,
candy.
lot
It's
of
the
candy.
dentist's busiest time
Dentists
of the
must
year.
love Halloween.
They love and hate it, actually,
Yeah.
because, I mean, who wants to be digging around a mouth that much with that many cavities? I mean, because cavities get
Money.
nasty, they
Money.
smell, and they're just gross.
Yeah.
Um,
We don't like no cavities.
50% of kids actually prefer to receive chocolate instead of not receiving chocolate, and only 10% actually want gum, which I always wanted chocolate.
I always wanted
I
chocolate.
just love anything
yeah.
that had chocolate with it. I was totally.
I liked peanut butter chocolate. Reese's Pieces.
Reese's.
Ooh, yeah,
Snickers.
Reese's, yes.
Reese's used to have those eggs that they would come out with
Yeah.
for Easter
Yeah.
time, and like I would always want those on Halloween, and I'd have a problem as to why people wouldn't have them.
My
They're-
favorite,
Come on.
my favorite when they came out with the minis, like it'd be Reese's
So
Pieces
good.
minis,
I
because
ate
then it
32
just
of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you just would sit there and just like pack it. A lot of people actually, which is so scary to me because my parents used to do this back in the day, you'd have to be very careful because people would give you apples and other stuff. But then some psychopath decided to put razor blades in those and fruit and other things because you could slide it in there without actually showing that you would expose the skin and cut into it. So a lot of parents actually had to be careful. They put poison candy. So a lot of parents are always very careful during this time of year, making sure that children are not ingesting something terribly awful. For people that deal in the medical industry, Halloween is, I think, one of the busiest times of the year when it comes to that because they have to deal with so many like drug overdoses, alcohol poisoning, accidents, people trying to do stupid stunts, costumes gone wrong, things like that. So if you're in the medical profession, we're sorry. Sorry, Cedars.
Sorry, CD.
And so, let's see, the jack-o'-lantern myth actually was an Irish legend that was by a guy actually named Jack. And it was, the story goes, he had tricked the devil a lot of different times. Why? I didn't look it up because why? And because he did this, he was forbidden from entering both heaven and hell, and had to wander the earth forever, waving a lantern to lead people away from their intended path, whether heaven or hell. So that's kind of where the whole Headless Horseman comes in. It's a very
Sleepy
similar,
Hollow,
very
too.
similar story
Oh,
to
so
that.
good.
A lot of a derivative from all those as well.
That's a good horror movie too.
That's a really good
it's like
horror.
campy but fun.
They have a lot of different versions of it too. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is a series as well. It's kind of fun.
Oh right,
with that.
I didn't see the series.
It's a decent one, so it's an interesting.
It's
thing.
still on.
Yeah, it's no, it's over with, but it
Oh.
was just a fun one to kind of watch, and it just had some fun little interesting facts about it. Black and orange are typically associated with Halloween. Orange is a symbol of strength and endurance, along with brown and gold, and it stands for the harvest or autumn kind of thing. And then black is obviously the symbol of death, darkness, the act. Remember that this is kind of where the festival that celebrates the shade between life and death, and the fact that it veils a little bit. So. And it's just, I didn't realize a lot of this, but that like all these different things, how much of this was actually associated with witches, with Wicca culture. A lot of people who don't realize this, Wicca is actually a common practice religion, and lots of people are involved with that, and it is this time of the year is very big for them in their ritualistic ceremonies and all the stuff they do with that. Witches actually used to be very, almost like priests in a sense. They were also, again, commune with the dead, be able to tell the future, things like that. So before the whole Salem and everything that, witches in more Eastern, European, Eastern kind of areas were very regarded as wise women. Wicca actually used to refer to them as wise women. So a lot of people used to condemn witches, but witches were actually really in high regard. So it's a lot of interesting things. There's some fun facts you can find online about all the different funny things that go on with Halloween and how it came to being. There is a ton of shit about it, and really, for what you need to know, it's very Celtic in nature. It's come over here in the early 600s, 80 the beginning, 80
Before and after death.
Before and after death. And it's just a really interesting time of year. I mean, all the different spiritual aspects that are connected with it, the fact that we have so many different weird stuff that gets derived from it. So I always find it very fascinating. And now we're going to play a little game with Eric called Never Have I Ever Halloween Edition. We're going to keep it slightly PG.
They're sending me not PG pictures, by the way, from across the room.
Oh! Well, that's because she's deep.
Behind the scenes, boys.
Behind the scenes, shit's getting nasty. But so we're just gonna do a fun. I forgot the little card things, but we're just gonna say if I have or have never.
Okay. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry. Okay, yeah. Sorry, Mom. So never have I ever eaten so much Halloween candy that I puked.
I don't know if I have. I don't think I have.
I have. I totally have.
I've drank so much Halloween
Liquor.
drinky that I've thrown up. You know, like
that's just a day ending of why I do that every other time,
yeah.
like all the time.
Yeah.
Never have I ever dressed in a couple's costume.
I have.
I have too as well.
I have. I totally have.
Never have
So
I ever used Halloween as an excuse to be a slut.
Oh, completely.
Clearly. Why should girls have all the fun?
Look at us right now. Yeah, completely. Yeah. For sure. It's one day a year.
Never have I ever done a trick or treat to someone when they didn't give me candy. Did they do like pull a trick on them because they didn't give you candy?
No,
I totally have. I've TP'd someone's house afterwards.
You know what? I think that one time, actually, this is really bad. But I think that one time, and by thing I mean like I completely know, I got like I don't think it was like as cliche as like a toothbrush, but it was something.
That's what I got. Was
something that like was not candy, and I think that I threw like a small pebble because I had a swing set at the time. We had like a trampoline swing set area in my house, and they lined the bottom of it with small pebbles, and I think that I threw like 4 of them at the car while it was driving past my house on the street. Like I threw it at that person's car. And
So
I ran.
I totally TP'd and rotten egged their house because it was a toothbrush. I got a toothbrush and I was so pissed. And so, well, here goes to my other. Never have I ever saved up rotten eggs in order to egg someone's house during Halloween.
I've never egged anyone's house, but I have thrown rocks at driving cars, which is not good.
I did do that. Actually, I didn't do it as much, but so every now and then we would do it and get the most rottenest, nastiest things we could find. Rotten fruit, rotten eggs, and yeah, I used to do that a couple times.
I would forever hate you. Yeah.
The worst thing to do, and I'm so bad telling you this, if you ever want to really like hurt someone egging something, don't egg their house, egg their car. Because that actually peels off the paint. And it will eat away and corrode the paint. It's the hardest thing to get off.
I paintballed someone's house on Halloween.
Yes.
Not with a gun. I didn't have a paintball gun, but I had a paintball ball, and I threw it at the house because they were not my paintball balls. They were his paintball balls, and he actually hit my dog with one at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I got so pissed off that I looked down and I saw my dog had an orange spot on it. And I took 3 of the paintball and I threw them right at their white ass house.
Oh yeah, that deserves that.
I bet you remember that. My mom.
No, that deserves that. You don't hit an animal with a paintball gun.
I remember
at
that.
all.
I remember that.
Okay, and finally, never have I ever hooked up with someone in a costume.
I have. Yeah. I definitely have. More than once.
Yeah. Every year. So Eric will be working tonight at Flaming Saddles. There is one bathroom that locks. So, and she will be looking fierce in some cute little harness.
Who knows? Something.
Last year, actually, I think it may have been last year or the year before. My favorite costume of yours was yours and How did Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Last year we were Thing 1 and Thing 2.
It was so adorable.
We worked next to each other the whole night, so we had to share a well. For those of you who don't know, and a well is what the ice is put in when you're at a bar. We take ice out of the well for your drink, and we had to share a well. And
those 2 are the only 2 that are actually like eye level, so it makes sense that they would be Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Right.
Because everyone else is like,
yeah, love him. He's awesome.
It's so adorable. He's our favorite little.
We're not matching this year, but I think that he's probably got a good costume.
Oh yeah,
knowing how.
Tyler, Hal, and Andy. especially Tyler and Andy. Those two go crazy balls.
Andy's like, he takes off of work on Halloween because he walks around. They interview him.
Oh, yeah.
They're obsessed with him. Tyler on Monday for karaoke was a bottle of Fireball. That was an amazing costume.
He goes all out for sure. Andy is the god when it comes to
got like
costumes.
these 40-foot wings that expand.
And he was like on heels that made him, I think, almost like
7 feet or something.
7 feet,
He's
yeah,
like,
70 feet.
It's like a freaking. I mean, it's like a.
With the wings, he was 18 feet tall.
It's like he's just like insane. It's insane.
He gets his sometimes he'll get his entire body painted. Has like
He
hair
is
that's
full.
like
He is
huge.
full paint right now from head to toe. We leave for Palm Springs like tomorrow morning. He's gonna be driving to Palm Springs in half of that. Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning into our special little Halloween episode of Holding Court with the Empress of WeHo.
Spooky.
We want to thank Eric for being here today. We've had so much fun getting to know all
Thank
the
you for
spooky
having
stuff.
me.
Yay!
Thank you for having me so much.
We're gonna see that. So thank you guys as much. We appreciate it. Thanks for checking out our slutty costumes because we're gonna be out here in the Ho with WeHos. So thank you. So thank you to gaylifela.com as well as Kings Road Apartment for that.
Be safe.
Be super
No driving.
safe. Yeah.
No
Don't
driving.
drink and
Take an
drive.
Uber.
Don't leave a group. Make sure you know where your people are at and be careful with your friends. Make sure you know where your friends are at. Don't lose them.
And only accept a roofie from him if he doesn't have a ring on the finger.
Exactly. And remember, your limit can only be 3. Wait, no, our limit's only 3. Never mind. Be careful getting your own drinks with that. Make sure you know the person bringing you your drink to you. It happens very much so. A lot of people get either drugged or get taken advantage of because they're alcoholically induced. So watch out for people, watch out for your friends especially, and have fun. It is Halloween. Have a little fun, get a little crazy, but don't get crazy too much. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Happy
Bye.
Halloween!